Hi, I'm Mark King, investment editor at Columbia Threadneedle Investments, and here's what's in my weekly column. Well, is the Bank of England on the verge of raising interest rates for the first time in over a decade? That certainly seems to be the message emanating from the Bank of England at present, as policymakers struggle to keep UK inflation under control. The bank's Monetary Policy Committee agreed to leave rates on hold at its monthly meeting last week. But as I said last week, the latest Office for National Statistics figures showed that the Consumer Prices Index measure of inflation hit 2.9% in August, which suggests the need for the bank to take action is growing. Indeed, Governor Mark Carney has admitted that the probability of the base rate being upped for the first time since the summer of 2007 has increased. Under other circumstances, the bank would probably have already raised rates, given that inflation has been running ahead of the official 2% target since the start of February this year. According to economic theory, higher interest rates encourage saving and reduce borrowing, both of which lead to lower levels of spending, thus reducing upward pressure on prices. Drill a bit deeper, however, and it's clear that the main cause of inflation is the fall in the value of sterling, which has increased the cost of imported goods and in turn high street prices. Once prices have adjusted to the new exchange rate, there's a good chance that inflation will fall back again without any intervention. And secondly, wage growth is lagging well behind inflation, increasing pressure on household finances. Simply put, if you haven't had much of a pay rise in recent years, but the cost of goods has been continually rising, your household finances are already under pressure. Add an interest rate rise which would see your mortgage repayments also rise, and you may well face even more severe financial pressure, begin taking on debt, or perhaps increase the debt you already have. So whether an interest rate rise would be a good or a bad thing depends on an individual's level of debt versus their savings. For anyone with cash in the bank, most of the past 10 years have been particularly unrewarding. So if a base rate hike leads to better returns on deposit accounts, this could be good news, especially for older people who are more likely to have large amounts of money in the bank. But for mortgage borrowers, higher rates could come as a shock. While many homeowners perhaps see today's mortgage rates as the new normal, it's worth bearing in mind that nothing lasts forever. For prudent borrowers, it might be a good idea to see how much repayments would increase if the base rate rose by 1 to 2%, for example, as well as to consider fixing mortgage rates for 2, 5 or even 10 years at their current low levels. See you next week.